So the next speaker can be described as diplomatic. He has mastered the art of telling you to fuck off with a smile. And most of his jokes will probably land, well, when you land back home. I'd like to call up the smartest Englishman I know, Adam Fine, and the best man to the front, please.
Firstly, when there's this much talent in the room, you're 5'6" and you got sunburned during the ceremony, it's a hard act to follow, you know. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Adam, Gull's best man for the evening, and it is, of course, a privilege to be here on this auspicious occasion. Looking around the room, it is no wonder that UCF attendances have been down all week. First and foremost, Floridian guests, I know you have all been to Africa at Epcot, but on behalf of Cape Town Tourism, I really do hope the real thing is proving to be better. Just please, for all of us, remember the animals are real. Speaking of animals, I'd like to clarify that none were harmed during the ceremony. It was merely the maid of honor crying. I would like to open up with a toast to all the bridesmaids who look simply phenomenal. Special mention, of course, to Kiana, who has from miles away in a foreign city supported Mariah, planned her an outstanding bachelorette on Friday. Thank you for all you have done. So there are apparently 5 key things to any best man speech. Toast the beautiful bride, pretty obvious. Show you were the first to know they were soulmates. Assist the groom in any wedding-related arguments. Tease the groom. God, this is going to be challenging. And speak from the heart about your friendship with both of them that clearly, like their marriage, will be everlasting. Before I delve in, Gal and Aviv asked me to mention that this wedding has been proudly brought to you by a number of Vacation Club sponsors. How to know you're definitely at a Jewish wedding. As we all know, and very clearly standing up here, Gal is an incredibly popular guy. So I'm incredibly fortunate to be up here. Now I know what you're thinking. How did I beat off competition from international singers, famous actors, and Canadians? Well, Gal knows that in photos with his only shorter friend, he has a real chance to look like Tom Brady for once in his life. Ironically, though, Gal is actually far more cheerleader than football player. And speaking of cheerleaders, this brings us on to number 1, and the most important person. Mariah, I would just like to say you look utterly breathtaking. Please, can everyone raise their glass to by far the most important person in the room, Mariah Ezra. I am the one person in this entire room that can honestly say I knew they were meant to be together. I'd landed from Japan, and Gull called me to say he needs a wingman. These 2 American beautiful women have arrived, and would I mind coming out and assisting? This was Jenna and Mariah. Obviously, in Africa, this is an incredibly first-world problem and a very difficult decision to make, so I immediately dropped my bags, showered, picked them up, and we headed to a bar. So in terms of the African jungle, I had one role for this evening. Make Gull, aka Simba, look good and fend off any prospective hyenas. Sorry, Brian, I know you're there, but that's a complex metaphor. What I meant was he was the quarterback and I was the offensive linebacker. We got that? Anyway, we get drinks, and within 5 minutes, a Frenchman, albeit more hippo than hyena, waddles over, hungrily eyeing up these 2 girls. Now, all men understand this scenario. Gull catches my eye, swift nod. He effectively says, deal with this baguette. I ready my plan to tell him, Je pense que mon ami, tu dois chercher pour un autre croissant, which translates as, I think, my friend, you should look for another croissant. Witty, subtle, and guaranteed to send him packing was my logic, and the girl's not speaking French, none the wiser. Readying my sharp tongue, I suddenly heard him say, while you are here, you must go to We Love Summer. It is the best party around. Clearly they'd never met Aviv, but anyway. It is simply amazing. Stumbling into the perfect opportunity to now ask said hippo about the owners of We Love Summer, if they really were the best, and what makes them special, I could have him gush about Gull and impress Mariah for 15 minutes. This went on, and on, and on. To say Gull was smug is an understatement, a smile worthy of a crocodile set across his features, or an alligator for some of you. So, how on earth did I know they were soulmates? Well, honestly, when has a Frenchman ever done anything right? Clearly, a miracle. Brian, World War I and World War II, that's the reference, mate. You know. Number 2. A sign of a future successful marriage is how bride and groom handle disagreements. Now, in modern times, the surname discussion can be an awkward one, with more and more women opting to retain their name or merge them. With Ezra sounding at best like a kosher burger restaurant, this was potentially a disaster. Thankfully, Mariah being traditional, there wasn't even a hint of an argument. Easy. Her Instagram name, though, wow, this was a challenge. Much like Gull's accent, this is still a work in progress, but I'm confident, as always, they will find common ground. Gull, some advice on future arguments. Whenever you're wrong, admit it. Whenever you're right, shut up. Fair enough. What is the difference between bridging finance and a personal loan? I'm actually so sorry. I have absolutely no idea how that card got in there. Mariah, although it is not common to talk about the bride in my position, I felt it necessary. Not that anyone here need reminding of just how special you are. I would describe Mariah as one of the most courageous people I have ever met. You bravely took a chance to fly here on your first real trip abroad and have never looked back. You've built a career for yourself through sheer determination, coupled with intelligence, and it has been a privilege to see you grow these last few years into a formidable woman without losing any of your sweetness. Once a homecoming queen, always a homecoming queen. So the man of the hour. How do I explain Gull to people? I don't know why you look nervous. Well, he is charming, friendly, and generally liked by everyone he meets. He is ambitious, smart, sees the best in people and scenarios, even, Mariah will agree, to a maddening extent. He is a fantastic brother, son, friend, and business partner. And above all else now, will no doubt be a fantastic husband. He celebrates Mariah every month, and long may this continue. Darwin said, a man's friendships are one of the best measures of his worth. And looking around, you are a worthy man for Mariah. I feel utterly privileged to have you as my best friend. 6 years ago, you poor bastard, I sold you on a lunch, and I have no doubt it'll be 60 more. Congratulations, my brother, on finding your princess. My one wish for the two of you is that you never stop celebrating, supporting, and loving each other. You guys are the fairy tale, the couple that give hope to many. And it is no surprise that this room is full of people that love and adore you. They say a successful marriage means falling in love many times with the same person, something you two are extraordinarily good at. So, it is with great pleasure I ask you all to stand up and raise your glasses to this wonderful couple, my best friends, the Ezras.
Wow, thank you so much, Adam, for that very eloquently put and beautiful speech. I told you he likes to tease people.